Welcome back to North of the Broad. Bill Reynolds is with us now. He's owner of Beaufort Tours. It's been several months since I've seen you.
It has been.
It's good to see you again.
Good
We're
to be
here specifically to talk about the mode of transportation has changed with your tours now in Beaufort.
About a year and a half ago, I bought a Mercedes Sprinter van. I put surround sound and speakers, everything in there.
Right.
And then March 13th was my last tour in the van just because of COVID.
Yes.
And so about 3 weeks ago, we resumed tours finally because it's been months and months with my new Yamaha 8-passenger golf cart. So it's a new way to go around town.
And so are you asking people to still take precautions on the golf cart with masks?
Everyone needs to wear the seatbelt and also to wear their mask during the tour. And then I've also got an ultraviolet wand that I can use to get rid of some of the COVID germs if they're there. And we do all the precautions we can. But it's also outside so that while we're moving, there's not much of a chance of spreading based on what we know.
So now, Bill, are you going to are you doing the same tours, or exactly where is the golf cart going?
So we don't have the Plantation and Gullah tour now because at 19 miles an hour, probably take 8 hours to do it. But we have 2 downtown tours that we're doing. We're doing the History Movie Tour, which covers the 300-plus year history of Beaufort, and plus the movies filmed here like Forrest Gump, The Big Chill, The Great Santini, Prince of Tides. And then I'm also resuming the Pat Conroy tour. And we see some of the houses where he lived when he wrote his early novels, some of the movie scenes from The Great Santini and The Prince of Tides, and just talk about as much Pat Conroy as we can.
Now, are you the tour guide, or do you have others that are?
I am the tour guide for the moment, giving all of the tours. I'm actually searching for a new tour guide to help me out, so I'm not working 7 days a week. And but I love giving tours, and so it's when that happens, it'll happen.
And so you were quite innovative to think about a golf cart as an alternative. I mean, that's, you had to kind of re-engineer your whole business.
Exactly. What actually happened was I applied for EIDL from the federal government, and they ended up giving me $1,000 for that. But I got a call from the SBA saying, we want to loan you money for 30 years at a low interest rate and no payments for a year. And I'm like, well, with that money, I could buy a golf cart. What could I do with it? I can buy a golf cart. So that kind of drove the idea for the golf cart tours.
So you've got one. Are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about selling the Mercedes Sprinter and buying a second golf cart. And
just keeping it all outside.
Keep it all outside, yeah, because as long we don't know exactly how long this COVID crisis is going to last, and people I can only take 7 passengers at the most at a time. And so it seems like people really like the golf cart tour. So when the spring hits and there are lots and lots of tourists here, we could run 2 golf cart tours at the same time.
Now, I think you shared with me before how you got into this business and a little bit about your background. But for the viewers that don't know you, Bill, tell us.
So, I actually have a political science French major from Furman University, and I have a master's of international business from the University of South Carolina. Wow. But about 13 years ago, my wife said, let's go down to Beaufort and see Benji and Julie. And I started seeing the Forrest Gump Bridge and all these different movie locations, The Big Chill. And so almost 10 years ago, I started the Beaufort Movie Tour. And then that morphed into the Beaufort Tours, where we give tours not only of movies, but we also cover the 300-plus year history of Beaufort with the British. And then back to the 1500s, you got Jean Ribault and Pedro Menendez were here. Beaufort was actually the Spanish capital of their colony called La Florida, was here. And it spread from the northern part of Virginia all the way down to Florida Key West. For 21 years, this was the capital of the Spanish colony of La Florida.
And so as you talk with tourists that are coming, what do you find they are most surprised about Beaufort? That perhaps one of the...
I think the variety of history here.
Yes.
You've got the antebellum period before the Civil War. You've got the Reconstruction here. We have our new Reconstruction National Park. Started 5 years ago as the Reconstruction Era National Monument. And then 2 years ago got elevated to national park status on the same day as Fort Sumter in Charleston. And so now we have park rangers around town explaining what went on here in the aftermath of the Civil War. And it's just a great place for historians to come and learn more. It's incredible history here.
And anything you want to tell us surprising about Pat Conroy? Here we are in his center, and
I've been a huge Pat Conroy fan. I started reading his books my freshman year in college. And I went to Furman University, and in 1983, my sister-in-law finished Furman, and I went to her graduation, and who was the commencement speaker but Pat Conroy?
Oh, wow.
So that, years ago, and I've read his books. I read some of them over and over again. He really has a gift for taking the Lowcountry and putting it into words so that you can smell the pluff mud while he's, while you're reading his books. It's just incredible how he brings it all to life.
Yes. So let's go back to the tours. How do you register? How much do they cost? All of that.
I have a live schedule of all the tours on my website, BeaufortTours.com.
Okay.
And there's a calendar there, and all the tours that are available each day are listed on there, and you can register for the tours there, or you can call 843-605-3914, and I'll answer the phone, and we can set tours up that way too.
Okay, great. Bill Reynolds, thank you so much for being with us in North of the Broad, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and we'll be right back.